So let's say you have a design firm and you need to create site layouts for standard shapes of things that there are set parameters for, like in this case, baseball diamonds or football fields. How do you go about doing that? Well, one way you can do it is to create those shapes um, and just store them off as blocks. So here's a baseball diamond. Here's a football field with a track around it. Now, if I look at these using our drawing inspector, you're going to see that the elevations in here are right around 0. So what I've done is I've used some commands in our software. I've drawn these shapes to scale X and Y, but there's a point in the drawing, in the case of the football field, it's I think right here, that is the reference point. So elevation 0, and everything is relative to that. And here's the command that I used. It's in Civil, and it is called Edit Assign Polyline Elevations. So I just drew the shapes in 2D using standard CAD commands to offset lines and put in the right arcs. And you know, there are standard dimensions for all of these things. And then I've used this command, this line down the middle of the football field, just a flat grade, and it's 1 foot above the reference point. And I was able to then drop several points along here. So when it makes a surface model or a tin of this, it's going to be dense enough that you're going to get good volumes and the contours are going to look decent. So with this command, let's look at one that maybe has some changes in elevation here. Yeah, here you can see there's changes in elevation as it goes up and down. There's a crown on the football field. And so these are all, again, scale XY, but relative to 0. Now, what I do is, let's say I have a site that I'm designing, like this one. You can see I've already got a baseball field and I've already got the football field in here. And since I've already inserted the baseball field into the drawing, its block definition is in here already. So now I can just run the insert command. It's going to show up in the list, so is football field. And I'm going to specify on screen where I want this stuff. So I'll just say insert. And then let's say I want to put another baseball field here. It's asking me for the scale. It's going to be 1 because my X and Y is 1. And then what's the rotation for the block? Let's just, just visually grab it in here. Or else if I knew it relative to the way the block was drawn, I could do that. Now, so I've got it in here. And it's just going to be sitting in here at elevation 0 right now. Let's turn on our drawing inspector. So it's just sitting in here, elevation 0 as a block. So what I want to do is get it at the elevation that I want it in the drawing. Let's just do 3D entity by surface model. And we'll pick the block, and that should put it somewhere in between those two. Now it's at 1469,886. Okay. Now it's exploded. Now if we track over it, you can see that the elevations in here are relative to its insertion point, which is over here. Okay. Now I need to make a tin of this. So let's go surface, triangulate and contour. And we're going to say we want to do baseball 2, second baseball field. Save that. Okay. And we just want to grab all this stuff, make sure we got it all. I have a little bit of cleanup that I need to do on here. I think I'm going to get an error message on one thing, but I'm not going to worry about it for now. I have one vertical edge in there, and I should clean that up before I use this any further. But for now, we're just going to have baseball 2 ready to go. So what do I do next? Well, you can see these 2 shapes are already tied in the existing terrain. So let's do that. On the surface menu, we can use design pad template. We can use another surface for the pad interior. We're going to project to the existing terrain. We're going to go outside, perpendicular to pad polyline. I'm going to specify a ratio, and we're just going to go ahead and do that. So pick the pad polyline, that's the outermost line. We're going to go to the existing terrain. Let's go 3:1. We're going to go baseball 2 for the interior surface. And there are our volumes, and it's already tied in. You could probably see that in the background. If we wanted to do some adjustments, change some slopes or things, it's pretty easy. If I wanted to just start over because I didn't get it where I wanted to, I could do that too. I'm just going to say no. No. Write the final surface. Yes. No. Final surface, this one's going to be baseball 2 with projections. Save that. Now I don't need to contour it yet. All right, let's go look at it. View, 3D viewer, surface file, baseball 2 with projections. And here we are. There's the baseball field, tied into the existing terrain. And you could do this with any types of site design shapes, building pads that are complex, that have maybe multiple elevations inside of them, sport complexes like this, sewage treatment plants perhaps. A number of different things lend themselves to this type of